more and more developed into what it is in our physical world. But the very stuff it's made of is nothing that can be identified by us. So that's why he can say this and set it down as a tent pin for us to be able to live with this and to know that nothing in this world has any reality but God. When we need to know that, that's important. Sometimes you can just, you go to work and you're driving, and what's reality is the car in front of you, the car behind you, the food you're eating, and the people you're relating to. That's right. But somehow, in the back of our minds, we should know that this is not what it seems. That's where the Baal Shem Tov lived in his consciousness. When he would speak to somebody, and he saw this in the Tanakh also. When Esther spoke to Ahasuerus, when Nehemiah spoke to the king also, they spoke to a human king. The king thought they were speaking to them, to the king, but they were speaking directly to God. They were able to live in a double reality, I would say. Can we do that? Is that real? The dove kabo, and you shall cling to God. So that's how the Ramban defines Zaykud. Is that whatever you do, wherever you are, whether you're alone or you're with other people, whatever is happening, is that your consciousness can be tuned to that deeper level. What can we do with this? No, we're not there. We're just not there. New York doesn't lend itself to that. Jerusalem does. But even there it's hard, but it does lend itself to it. You can start to get it there. And so if you go there and come back here, you can bring more of that to here. I wanted to show very simply that it's not just the Baal Shem Tov, but it's Jewish. And that it's part and parcel of our deepest teachings. And that I think that the way to do it is to practice different forms of meditation that are, again, very grounded in Jewish tradition, and to bring that into our prayer service, and to hold that with each other, and to hold each other in that vision of being spiritual beings who have come into this world to do something important. So to speak, coming out of the focus of what I've been talking about is that the bigger picture is that we've, what the implications, how shall I say it? The bigger picture of our time from the spiritual teachings of the Zohar and the Tikkunei Zohar and the Ari is that we are neshamas, we are souls, who have come down into physical reality in order to transform physical reality. And that this information, even though it's not easily digestible at first, is essential information for our neshamas to be able to start to become empowered to do that work. So that when we say a bracha, so that when we do a mitzvah, it's a very important principle by the Rambam and others, that you do a mitzvah, it should be done as a mitzvah. Why are they saying that? Why can't I do it from the goodness of my heart? It doesn't have the power. Because mitzvah is from the word tzavta, they say, from a bound team, or a tzevet is a team that's many people working together. So they say that the root of the word mitzvah is binding. When we do a mitzvah, we bind many disparate energies in the world to the Creator. We bring the world back to the Creator. We bind ourselves to the Creator, to the Mitzvah, to the Commander. The commandment, fulfilling the commandment in the name of the Commander, binds us and the entire world to the Commander. It brings the will of the Commander to the fore, and the world becomes then an access point to get closer to the Commander, as opposed to that which takes us away from God. The world becomes an opportunity to lift up and to become closer to God. Ramchal says in Dat Tvunot that when you do a mitzvah, therefore, you do a cosmic action. It could be lighting a candle on Hanukkah. It could be giving a small coin to somebody else. It could be doing a favor for somebody else. But it's done as mitzvah, it becomes now transformed from a simple act of kindness to something that reverberates throughout all the universes. It makes our actions, it brings our actions to a different level of existence. Does that make sense? I mean, that there's a parable about it also by one of the students of the Ben Ish Chai. He said that, I don't know where he got it, but he said that there was like a third world country, and all of a sudden they brought in a huge crane that was going to be, they were going to build there. But the natives there had never seen such a thing. And they tried to push it, hundreds of them push it, and it's too big. So all of a sudden they see running from the distance at the top of the hill over there, somebody with his hand up. It's like a decathlon. He's running. They part the sea. And he runs in, he climbs up this incredible, huge contraption. And what was he holding in his hand the whole time? The key. And he puts the key in the ignition, and he starts it. And like, wow, for them it's like, this is amazing, a miracle. That's the mitzvah. The power of mitzvah is that which completely can make the entire system move. That's what was given into our hands. So I know I have to develop it more a little bit. Of what I'm trying to say is that we are given, our souls come down here, and we're not left alone. We're given a system that connects us to the commander. And so, really, what I'm trying to do, and what I communicate to people in California and in other places that are searching for spirituality, and which makes sense to them when I say it, because I don't usually speak to religious audiences. It's a strange thing. It's not that I have anything against you. But you're living it. You're doing it. And when I speak to you about it, it almost falls flat. Like, what is he trying to tell us? Why does he want to do this to us? That's the sense I get. And I'm sorry that I just feel like I'm pushing this on you, and I want to ask your forgiveness for that. But what I'm trying to do is what it does to other people who are looking for this in Judaism is it gives them such a flash that what they've been looking for their whole life can be found in Jewish teachings. So that's the difference between the Jewish religious world and the Jewish non-religious world, or the spiritual seeking world. That ideas such as these, that the religious Jew doesn't usually talk about. Maybe the Hasidic Rebbes, they do talk about it in their way, in very silent tones. And they write about it in their forums. But the religious Jew of our generation, the typical New York Jew, does not talk about it. And it's heavy. Like, what do you want to do to us? What do you want to do this to us for? But it's very, for me, in general, it's like, this is what changed my life. So that's why I wanted to share it. Maybe we'll just have another moment of some beautiful sound.
Sure.
And,
I have a question.
And oh yes, we'll have some questions if you want.
He said what's the difference between Baal Shem Tov and
Reb Chaim Volozhin?
Yeah, how do they connect? I mean, how do they?
We see here that he's saying the same thing.
Both segments.
They're both saying the same thing. There's no machloket. He ends off by saying that this is not to be communicated to people who will it has to be, it's guarded, it's confidential, it's what's the word in espionage? It's
privilege.
Classified, privileged information. Because somebody would hear this, they think, well, you can do anything you want me because God is everywhere. No, that's not what it is. It's up to us to discover God in the deepest way within ourselves, and that's the concept that we're within God. I mean, it has tremendous application in a lot of places, but it should just be, one should be careful not to misuse the knowledge for some reason. They were concerned that would be